So I thought I'd make a video for you if I can remember everything that we went over. So maybe between the video and what you wrote down, maybe you'll have everything. So one of the things, I said, all the smaller exercises you've been doing, those are all post-op kind of stuff. And those are all fine to do, but basically that's only going to keep you where you are and not get any better. And so they've already served their purpose. And so to ramp that up, especially for the hip and stuff, again, you lean over on a dining room table and legs straight back and then straight back down. And so you can do it like that. And then that's going to hit you in the butt, hamstring. And after you do that a few times, you can do it with your knee bent like this. The more you bend your knee, the more your hamstring might cramp up, and you don't want that. But anyway, you can put an ankle weight on there too if you want to. So there's that, and then there's the one you do standing up. Hold on to something for balance, take the leg out to the side, and again, you want to try to lead with the heel if you can, that kind of stuff. And that way, the more you do it that way, you'll feel it directly on the hip. And then back down, so you can do it like that. Now, if you really want to play around, and I didn't even think about this till now, you can always bring your knee up to about 90 and kick out like that. Just a side kick, again, landing with the heel, not the blade, but that's a hip exercise. Just throwing that out at you. Then we talked about balance a little bit. So basically you can, walk on your heels. That'll accentuate you, well, for balance, but that'll also try to help the muscles in the front of the legs that allow you to do this, which is what you're supposed to do when you, walk, as opposed to letting that toe drag. And then after you do the heel walking, you can walk on your toes, but like we talked about, you've got more experience with that, so don't do that. The other thing, unless you want to, it's not going to hurt anything, is, make sure you try to keep your feet forward. And this is all going to be practice, so the more, and obviously you have to think about it, but the more you think about it, the more potentially it could get better. And then, as far as the little glitch in the foot that you feel more when you pull the foot in, I'm still thinking that might help, or that might reduce the more you can try to do it, but don't force it, don't go for pain. So in other words, if you go all the way in and it's painful, you went too far. If you go back out straight and it's gone, that's fine. If you come in a little bit and you go, oh yeah, I feel that, but it's not painful, it's entirely a possibility if you do some weight shifting or even stand during commercials on television or something like that, that might, get better to where you can tolerate it more, or it'll go away in this position and then you try to make it go away a little bit farther in. And then for this, all you need is a wall, but you just step out, toes up, back down, feet are facing straight ahead. And again, the farther out you get, the harder it is. If you have we got a rough wall here. If you got a smooth wall, it'll be a little bit easier, or you'll slide a little bit easier. You can actually do that. We didn't talk about this, but you can actually do that 1 foot at a time, but that's almost impossible for me to get right there. So I've got to get really high up here. But that's just a progression, and that's just a lot harder that way. And then we talked about the bridging, and you had already been doing it like this, which is fine, but what you can do is you can do it 1 leg at a time. So just come straight up like this. Doesn't matter where this other leg's at, as long as you're coming up on one. And when you come up, excuse me, when you come up, try to come up on the heel. Because if you come up on the heel, you're going to get more in the glute, you're going to get more in the hamstring than if your feet are flat. Then, if you wanted more of a progression, you can do both feet on a chair, all the way down, all the way up. And progression from that is straight up. Just like that. Now, one thing that we didn't do that I was thinking about after you left is just basically doing a chair squat. Now, you can use weights if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just use your body weight, but you just have to do more reps. but what you want to do it because of strength and balance is you want to start out wide, just come up and down, and then 1 foot width in, up, down, another foot width in, up, down, another foot width in, up, down, until you get your feet together, okay? So what that's doing is working the same muscles, but just at a different angle. And the thing is, you start wide, that's going to be a little bit odd because nobody does this. You'll find your sweet spot, and we may have talked about this, it just sounds like we have. And of course, when you come all the way in, then it becomes more of a balance kind of thing. And you can even do it with 1 foot in front of the other like this, and that becomes more of a balance thing. But you can do that during a commercial, so you're not going to break a sweat. I mean, unless you do a boatload of them, but you don't have to carve out time to do it either. And then we also talked about just, heel-toe walking. Again, that's going to be for balance too. And then you can go backwards as well. I'm thinking that might cover everything. Not 100% on that. And then I did show you that one exercise that I tried to strap a weight to you, but basically, if you got some ankle weights and just wrapped it around your toe here and basically just came up and down like this, that's going to strengthen the front part of this. But also, if you were to get on a bench like this or, couch or anything and come up and down, that's going to strengthen this muscle right here. And the function of that muscle is to pull those toes up like that. So hopefully that will transfer over, for just regular walking.